status. The current king and 3 other princes, they did the same thing. I've written about this before, but this guy here, Zakaria Musai, who is in jail with a life sentence, and was part of Al-Qaeda that attacked us. In fact, he took training lessons as a pilot. And he's arrested in life sentence in a maximum security prison in Colorado. He denounced this. And he said that Prince Bandar bin Sultan, our 22-year ambassador, nephew of 2 kings, ambassador from Saudi Arabia for 22 years in our nation, close friend of Herbert Walker Bush, close friend of George W. Bush, close friend of Barack Obama, close friend of Bill Clinton. This man also helped the 9/11 terrorists bring down our Twin Towers. The ambassador, nephew of 2 kings, pretended to be our friend all along. Not just him. Prince Turki Al Faisal, also ambassador to the UN. And by the way, both of them were in charge of intelligence as well in Saudi Arabia. And this other one, Prince Alawid bin Talal, the wealthiest member of the royal family. The 3 of them, plus the current king, helped the 9/11 terrorists bring down the towers. This nation, with our money from the oil, that's why we need to get independent from our oil. We need to be independent completely, something that Obama has tried to stop again and again. Doesn't want to have the pipeline to come down over here, harasses our oil and gas companies with EPA horrendous rules, has done everything possible so that we continue to be dependent on these monarchs, corrupt monarchs of the Gulf states. And so, I mean, this is a country that with our money and the European money has built 22,000 madrasas all over the world, has built all of our mosques in the United States, established centers in Ivy League universities with radical professors that give PhD and master's degree in Islamic studies. And whoever leaves that university, they're already members of the Muslim Brotherhood for life, with a PhD from Harvard. So they can be employed in a national government or in institutions of learning. So this is a country that's not an ally of the United States, it's a traitor, and they have the very worst religion in the world. Anyway, the Muslim Brotherhood infiltration is extremely serious. It continues to happen under this president, and radical Islam, as well as China, Russia, Iran, North Korea, are posing a direct threat to our national security. This president has been oblivious to those threats. He has never used the term war on terror, never has said Islamic radical. God forbid if he says that. Doesn't allow anybody to say it. When Nidal Hassan assassinated 13 soldiers on Fort Hood, were about to leave for Afghanistan, he called that workplace violence. Even though the man said, Allahu Akbar, and opened fire and killing 13 soldiers, wounding many others. So this is a president that has tried to keep our nation oblivious to the immense threat that we have right here in our nation with the Muslim Brotherhood that he has allowed to flourish, that he has integrated into his government, and of course is a president that is responsible for the deaths of millions of Christians because he armed the Islamic State in Syria with the weapons that went from Syria. In fact, the day that Chris Stevens was assassinated, September 11, 2012, why did he have to go to Benghazi on such a horrible date, anniversary for Americans anywhere in the world? He had to be there because he had to be with the General Consul of Turkey. And on the day he was assassinated, a ship by the name of Victory left Benghazi with 420 tons of weapons. Who wrote that? The London newspapers. Not a word was written here. But no, thank God, it's coming out now. Now, the Washington Times wrote 3 or 4 articles, not yet about the president, but about Hillary Clinton and her involvement with all of that. And so, slowly, that news is filtering out. At least, definitely, what Saudi Arabia has done 9/11. That's in the New York Times. They wrote 2 articles on it. It's even the Miami Herald here. And so, the problem is, will the Republicans have the strength to impeach Obama? Probably not. You know what Roger told me, Roger Aronoff told me, your friend? He said they are afraid to impeach Barack Obama because he did an executive order saying there is a crisis in the US, he will suspend the Constitution, declare martial law, and become a dictator. They want to let him go peacefully in 2 years. That's what your friend told me. And he's in daily contact with the members of Congress. What I told you here, they know. This is no secret for the Republicans, and maybe not every Republican. The leaders of Congress know exactly that. The other fear that they have, just like because of the 2 blacks that were killed by the police, and we had riots in 176 cities, they are afraid if we file articles of impeachment, he will get the African Americans to revolt, burn our cities. So they are afraid. You know what? I am not afraid. We need to impeach him. The worst thing that this country can do is let this criminal, this who committed high treason in the United States, to let him leave the presidency without an impeachment. That's the worst thing that can happen to our nation, because he's not going to go away. He's going to be here, in or out of the White House, trying to destroy this nation, because he hates the United States. He's been associated his entire life with the hate the U.S. crisis. Since the 5th grade, I'm almost done. Since the 5th grade, he had a mentor by the name of Frank Marshall Davis. No, one more minute. He's been associated his entire life with communists, Palestinian radicals in Chicago. When he goes to Columbia University, he writes in his book, I attended socialist conference in Cooper Union, which is where they have communist conferences. His best professor at Columbia University was Edward Said, S-A-I-D, a Palestinian radical who wanted to destroy Israel. One interesting thing about Obama, he's widely hated in Egypt and Israel, because we do have a president in Egypt that's a hero, General al-Sisi. He even went to a Coptic church service in January, and he went to Cairo University with all the Muslim scholars, and he said, there's something wrong with Islam. Our religion, we need to revolutionize Islam. Something is wrong when so many terrorists around the world are using our religion to kill innocent people. We need to look at our religion, what's happening in our religion. He told that to the highest cleric of the Muslim Brotherhood.
He's very active.
Look, it's moving.
He's very active now.
It's very active.
Hello, Obama, I'm here. Saying good things about you. Okay, anyway, so at least we have a brave, secular Muslim, head of the largest country in the Middle East, with 82 million people. The largest army in the Middle East is the Egyptian army, who is fighting the Muslim Brotherhood, who is fighting the Islamic Caliphate, and who is telling the truth about Islam to the clerics in his own nation. He said, we have to change Islam. We're 1.6 million people, and we cannot fight 7 billion people in the world. We need to look at our religion. We need to change our religion so that we don't interpret Islam like in medieval times in the 7th century. Thank you so much. I don't know, should I take questions or later? Later. So give a chance to pray.